What's up, YouTube? Hi, it's me again. Been a while. Today we got you 10 mangas to reminisce about Tokyo Ghoul. However, I gotta set some requirements so they fit the bill. First of all, horror, gore, bloods, guts, you know, the usual. Then of course, your action, your fighting scenes, etc., some death. And this last one, in particular, is that our MCs end up gaining some sort of power or are pulled into their own storyline without their own intentions. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have
Shokuryou Jinrui Re, velation.
This is set in a world where heavenly beings, quotation marks, have convinced the peons of society that their aspiration is to be eaten. Now, MC doesn't really want that. Sort of finds some like-minded people, tries to rebel, turns out the upper echelons of the government are sort of in on it, and then they sort of try and kill some people, send the heavenly beings in to eat people sacrifice, you get the gist of it, aliens and shit. Next up, we've got Gigantis, which follows our MC, Jen, as he tries to survive in a world being devoured by asymmetrical monsters, which when they devour things, it mutates and things become part of them and they get bigger and bigger. He ends up joining some military as sort of an experiment because he gets bitten, but he doesn't become a monster. Then it turns out he has some power, and then whilst this is happening, he wants to return to his native island to save his sister. After this, we've got Mars Red, which revolves around our protagonist Shutaro in the 1920s. He's turned into a vampire and forced to join a secret military task force to hunt down other vampires. Meanwhile, his childhood friend wonders whether he's alive or dead, and he secretly watches her and then ends up saving her. Following this, we've got Choujin X. Basically, Choujins are humans with supernatural powers, which varies from being able to shoot smoke to turn into a giant snake lady. The MC is turned into a crow Choujin by another Choujin. He is then forced to go to another school or be deemed a criminal Choujin. As such, he goes to this other school, meets lots of Choujins, tries to control his powers, fights other Choujins, has panic attacks. Following this, we've got Jangin. Its plot revolves around Shintaro, who is your average cop, until a mysterious monster gives him the ability to turn his right arms into any guns he can think of. He then proceeds to fight other monsters like him to then kill them so that an owl can eat the monsters so that the owl doesn't kill him. Afterwards, we've got Tougen Anki. Ancient Oshiki is dragged into an ancient war between Momotaru and Onis after his adopted father is killed by Momotaru. He then discovers he's an Oni and sets out for revenge, but also goes to school and meets like-minded Onis in similar situations. Afterwards, we've got Killing Bites, which follows Yuya no Moto as he is dragged into a world where people are thrown into a coliseum for the rich and wealthy to fight to the death. After meeting Hitomo Yuzaki, who is almost raped because of him, but she turns into a honey badger and just mutilates the other people trying to rape her. He is then forced to be an agent for her to fight in the Colosseum and arenas, which are actually fights between human monster animal hybrids, which the rich and wealthy have created, etc. In this, we've got Ajin, which most people probably know. Anyway, it follows Kai as he finds out he's an Ajin after being killed by a truck, but he doesn't die because Ajins are immortal humans that can summon black ghosts, etc. He then finds himself on the run, only to then be dragged into a military operation to stop the terrorist, Sato, who is also an Ajin. Afterwards, we've got Deadman WonderLand, which follows Gantz, who ends up being convicted of murder for his entire class after a Crimson Flying Man kills them all. He is then sent to Deadman WonderLand, that's the title, which is a prison/theme park where he must survive and tries to aim to clear his name, get superpowers. You get the gist of it. Following this, and last but not least, we've got Gantz, Gantz tells the story of Kai Kuruna and Masaru Kato, both of whom die in a train accident and become part of a death game, in which they provide weapons such as guns and swords, and then must fight aliens and kill aliens to survive. Doing so rewards them with points that they can then eventually redeem to then quit the game and survive, etc. Alright, thanks for watching. If you think I've done anything stupid, do correct me. If there's any manga you recommend, do put it in the comments. I need more manga to read. Thank you. Apart from that, I do apologise for the shit editing. Have a good one.